It's going to be legit players versus great suggestions. The switch over gonna occur, so we will get the stream updated here, and we will go on to that matchup. Two of the very strong teams here in the winners bracket. All right. So in this matchup, we will be seeing some very strong players. Looking at the teams, legit players, of course. One of the scariest teams in the tournament: Badoo, Monko, Smarty, Wowie, Shiny Chariot, Tatsuya, Konkon, Kinokon, and Utsuha on that side. You know, over on the side of great suggestions, you have Milk Teasm, Reedcat, FX, Couch, Slowburn, Yumami Ryamu, and Okinotori Ramu as their players. So both gonna have some very, very strong players in a lot of these different slots, and again, two very well-rounded teams. Legit players, probably, I think, for my money, the scariest team, possibly the scariest team in the tournament. Just, I mean, they match up really well individually within their seeds. And they just have skill cap players across the board. I mean, Badoo, Monko, two of the strongest A seeds. Like, Badoo's late round is absolutely absurd in a lot of the things that he's really good at. Smarty, Wowie, obviously well-known players. Kinokon, Utsuha at the D seed, like, it's just good people. But great suggestions for their part. I mean, a lot of really good speed players on that roster. I think very scary in DT, very scary in kind of some different areas too, with Okinotori, you know, kind of shoring up in that low seed, you know, some of their more gimmicky type of performances as well. So a lot of skill sets to consider here on both of these rosters, and I think hopefully a very good matchup here. So we are going to get into it. It's going to be the first ban for great suggestions, the blue team here, as we run back this map pool once again. Very interested to see what these teams end up banning and picking in this pool, with this matchup being what it is. I'm just gonna update our bracket here a little bit. All right, so we have the couple first bans coming in here. Gonna be Hidden 3 is the first ban for great suggestions. The Ngoe are hidden. No surprise that gets banned out against Badoo and Wowie. DC3 the first ban for legit players. Also no surprise, they're the very speed favored pick. They don't want to have to deal with that. Two pretty obvious bans there. And that's where things are going to change up a little bit. Do we see lag is what we see. Do we see, you know, maybe double kind of skill set bans from great suggestions? Do they ban something like a Nomad 3 or a Nomad 6 against legit players here? And then, you know, does legit players go with another speedy kind of ban? Do they ban like a DT2 maybe, or a Nomad 5? Couple of options they might go to. It's going to be double hidden bans instead, though. It's going to be Hidden 2 is the second ban here from great suggestions. That is the lengthy Flow Aim Alt Hidden pick being banned out So just double hidden, and no real surprise that either of those picks got banned out from Great Suggestions. And obviously, as I said, DT3, no surprise to see that banned by legit players. I think this is probably either going to be Double Time number 2 or Nomad number 5 as the second ban from Team Legit players, because they obviously are, you know, not strictly speaking weak in speed, but compared to their opposition, I think it's going to be their weaker mod, and it's going to end up be DT1, so it is going to still be a Double Time ban from legit players, but it's going to be DT1 over DT2 or Nomad 5. And then we will go into their own first pick, and we're going to see where they're going to go. I've got to think it's likely to be something like, you know, a Nomad 3 type of option. This is definitely a Nomad 3, Nomad 4, Nomad 6 angle for that team. I think wanting to probably avoid, you know, kind of the raw mechanics against this roster from Great Suggestions, and will probably more favor, you know, kind of the niche skill set type of thing. We are just kind of chilling, I guess. Waiting on legit players' first pick here for quite some time. See what they're going to go with. Don't know what the timer looks like. And it's going to be hidden one, so they do go the one remaining hidden in the pool after the double hidden ban from Great Suggestions. That will be the first selection for legit players. It is going to be Sakimori Soka, the shortest hidden by a pretty considerable margin, just a minute 58 seconds, 168 BPM, actually making it the highest BPM of the hidden pool, strictly speaking, but you know, with hidden 2 being an alt pick, it's a little less meaningful. So we will get loaded in here. We'll find out who the first sets of players are going to be for this match. We'll get into the first pick of our first quarter final. Whoever wins this will move on to the semifinals in the winner's bracket. Loser, of course, drops down to that loser's bracket round 4 next week. Still a lot of matches to be played to decide what's going to be their opponent and everything, but yeah, gets us that far there. Alright, so it looks like we are set to go here. It's going to be Badu, Utsuha, Woei, Shiny Chariot for legit players, Yumemi, Ryamu, Ramu, Couch, and Milk Teaism for Great Suggestions. Map number 1, hidden number 1. Match underway here. The number 1 seeded legit players versus the number 8 seeded Great Suggestions. Both looking pretty strong in the early stages. Legit players did go to tiebreak against Coach Puo in round 1. Great suggestions, 6-2 over Time Zone Fiesta, and then 6-4 and 6-3 for them respectively last week. So great suggestions, technically having a little bit of an easier time of things in their first couple matches. And this is finally going to be getting underway here, I believe. Alright, at long last. It's a match quite behind here. But at long last, we will get underway. Legit players, great suggestions. Map number 1 is now underway. And we'll see how it goes for two teams that looked very good in their first matches, but I think definitely some skill set variance between these guys. I think we'll see some very contested picks. We'll also see probably some pretty one-sided things. I think the band's pretty well used in that regard to try and kind of avoid the worst of the worst. And I heard you liked perfect stacks in your hidden ones because we gave you perfect stacks in your hidden ones to start the match off here. And on the space pattern, it's going to be Yumemuriyama who breaks. Everybody else holding through. Already halfway through the map, though. It's going to drop his score pretty considerably. Never like to break at that sort of spot, especially when it drops your accuracy all the way down 92%. However, that is a lot of misses. That is Badu Uzuha Couch. No, excuse me. Badu Uzuha Milk Teaism and Shiny Chariot all breaking. Ramu missing immediately after, so it is now just Woey and Couch, the only players left with combo coming out of that Ki section. Yeah. Hidden Flow Aim, just kind of the name of the game in this pool. It's like just everywhere. You've got it in all three hiddens. There's some flow aim requirement. Fremod 1 and, well, Fremod 1 doesn't. Fremod 3 also having that hidden flow aim requirement. And there goes Woey, so it's now Couch, the only FC left, cheesing the heck out of those sliders, but making it through. No, he finally does break, and that's going to be advantage legit players as Badu has built up a combo of 240. Should be enough to keep them in the lead. Coming through this last Ki section where things just get even more difficult. This pool is unrelenting in these picks like this one, and it is going to be legit players taking their first pick, and they will take a 1-0 lead as everybody gets a little bit split up. But that will be a first pick victory for legit players. They will take a 1-0 lead, and it will go on to the first pick here from Great Suggestions. Couple B ranks there, Milk Teaism and Yumemuriyama not having the greatest time in terms of accuracy. 97% from Woey. That is very impressive, actually, considering the sliders and everything in that map. 97, nothing to sneeze at. And over we will go to Great Suggestions. We'll see what they want to do for their own first pick. You got the double DT bans out of legit players, so Great Suggestions gotta be probably thinking, you know, maybe DT2 is a pick for them. DT4, enough outside the realm of a standard DT that I don't think it's an immediate, you know, let's jump on this pick. Nomad 5, also, you know, kind of an option if they do like the idea of going into speed. But also some pretty good mechanic players in other ways than speed. You know, good aim on that team as well. So maybe, you know, you could go into an aim pick. Maybe flow aim hidden, not the play. But of course, the other two hiddens banned. That is the hidden pool now completely gone already. A lot of options in this pool, really just depending on what your team feels strongest on. You know, do you want to go into rhythm? Do you want to go into aim? Do you want to go to speed? There's stuff for pretty much everyone, and they're going to go into aim. Unsurprising, really. Great suggestions going Hard Rock 1. We know what some of those players are capable of on this kind of map. Rel Cigarettes, Ameagari, difficulty. It's kind of two halves to this map. You know, the first half has a lot of streams, some bursts and such. And then the second half has quite a bit more aim as you get into the second Ki and onward. But for the consistent all-around players in the lobby, I think plenty to like about this map. I think you're looking at Yumemi Ramu Denk, a very, very good Hard Rock game player. Of course, FX Reedcat, Oki Notori, no slouches. On the other side, Monko, Hard Rock game, Smarty, Hard Rock game. Some players who are very, very good at this skill set on legit players as well. So this type of map always a little scary, I think. Anytime you go into a traditional, you know, kind of Nomad 1, that sort of route, it's a little bit frightening. Nomad 1, Hard Rock 1, that sort of space. Pretty tricky. So see how this one goes for everybody. Great suggestions will probably be feeling pretty good about their own first pick here. We do have our next result as well. By the way, match E8, Stoof and Friends take out JT Beer Tester 6-4. So a pretty closely contested one, but it does go the way of the Canadians. So they will move onward at losers bracket round 3 tomorrow. Our parade of 15 UTC matches just gets even better. And Wet Power have just escaped in a tiebreak 6-5 over Time Zone Fiesta. So they got an E2. They await the winner of our last match, or our next match of the day, Cope versus Kochan Piwo in the losers bracket, round 3 for themselves. That's a Wet Power, man. They have gone tiebreaker win after tiebreaker loss. And so they've played 3 matches and they've all been tiebreakers. They won a tiebreaker in their first match, lost a tiebreaker in their second match, won a tiebreaker in their third match. That's quite the team. It's scary. Anyhow, we are in to Hard Rock 1 at long last. Seems like the times between these maps are quite lengthy, but all good. Early break is going to come out from Tatsuo on the side of legit players to start things off in the first 100 combo. Smarty missed one of the first 10 combo as well, it looks like. Not sure how that happened. But it's going to be Yumemi Ryamu with the break at 150 combo for great suggestions. So people trying to get, a little comfortable with this map, it seems like. Just a couple of odd misses in the beginning. Tatsuo really struggling here, not sure what's going on there. Smarty missing once again as well. You don't expect people to miss in the first 300 combo of this map, you just don't. But it has happened already a few times here. It's going to be a small lead for great suggestions, but it'll grow as they do have 4 FCs, or 3 FCs still, and a decent combo on Yumemi Ryamu after his break. No further breaks coming through that first chorus, so we'll go into the second verse with just the combo advantage from Yumemi Ryamu versus Smarty and Tatsuo's breaks. About a 70k lead or so for great suggestions. Accuracy relatively even across the board, slightly higher in favor of legit players, but both teams with one person at 96, the low 97, so gonna drop slightly on that one, FX and Tatsuo, but for the most part, players doing fine. very straightforward rhythmically speaking. One nice thing about oral cigarettes, the very pronounced snare drum makes it very easy to stay on rhythm. That's going to be a break from Umemi Ryamu. Not the best place to miss. Exactly halfway through, he was the one player who was not holding an FC for that team, though. It's going to open the door a bit for legit players, though. They need another break, and then they don't need that break to be on their side, but it's going to be Smarty. And there goes Tatsuo again. Umemi Ryamu breaking once again for great suggestions into the same section. Here we go. And Okinotori with the break for great suggestion. So it is going to be 2 FCs to 2, and really next to no combo on the third player. Monko and Konkon Kinakon for legit players holding the FCs. FX and Reedcat holding the FCs on the side of great suggestions. The score gap only about 70k. Combo almost dead even for Smarty and Tatsuo versus Umemi Ryamu and Okinotori. So it will look to come down to the last ki of the map here. The score is going to stay about this same gap as players continue to hold combo, continue to hold accuracy. Reedcat on the remarkably good accuracy, as well as Konkon Kinakon. Those top scores for each team. Oh, and it's a break from FX at the worst possible time, coming into the last ki. That gives a huge combo advantage to legit players, as they have now an entire FC of an advantage. The lead is going to go over to them if they can hold through this stream. Kinakon and Monko both make it. And into the big jumps we go, into the last ki. This is where things are going to be really huge. Monko breaks immediately, but so does FX. It's Kinakon versus Reedcat, the only 2 FCs remaining. Decent amount of combo on Umemi Ryamu and on Okinotori. Smarty as well. There goes Kinakon, though. It's going to go back over to great suggestions, and they are going to pretty much just take the map now. I think that just decided it. A little more Bancho lag right at the end, but I don't think there's anything legit players can do. That was absolute tragedy for legit players, just finding breaks at the end in the worst timing. And everyone from Great Suggestions doing a much better job through that section than did legit players. Reedcat looking to bring home the FC, and he will do so. A little bit behind. Well, maybe going to bring home the FC. And it is a Reedcat FC. That was a fun ending to that map with Bancho once again. Same thing happened last time, but yeah, 900s FC for Reedcat, doing quite well there. It's S rank for Okinotori. But really, just the story of that one, legit players kind of falling apart in the end, not able to stand their ground with big combos and FCs late in the map. And it will be 1-1 on the back of that score from Reedcat, doing a big play. 254k, the margin of victory, and that really the 200k from Reedcat back to the top score of of legit players. So a lot of that advantage just right there. All right, so next pick will come from legit players. It'll be their second pick of the match. No hiddens, so into the free mod pool they go with free mod number 1. Gonna be the 2U free mod mapped by Nathan. Rock Nakimi Toa o Kare Da. A snap aim alt pick here in the free modification map pool. He's taking a lot of the timers on their picks, but happens, I guess. There's going to be another, I think, skill set that legit players are very strong on. We know how good they are at alt. We know how good they are at, the kind of snap aim stuff. Also, just a really nice song, so that helps too. Probably the best song in the pool, I think, if I had to pick one. All right. I don't know. This match is going so slowly. We've played 2 maps in 20 minutes. Like, unreal, actually. But we seem to be set here. Badu, Woei, Tatsua, Kinakan against Yumemi, Ryamu, Ramu. Oh, that's not confusing at all. Couch and Reedcat. And in we go, except Tatsuya is deciding he wants to try again on Hard Rock 1, so hopefully that can get fixed here. Get to load in. We'll see our mods. It's going to be probably double hidden for legit players, and indeed, it's going to be hidden on Badu and on Woei. The hella overmod for great suggestions. Wow, all 4 players. This is not force mod, guys. This is not perennial. Hard Rock on Yumemi, Ramu, and Reedcat, hidden on Ramu and Couch. I'm quite surprised to see that level of overmod, especially in like a quarterfinals pool that's pretty difficult. You don't usually anticipate that heavy of mod usage, but we'll see. You know, maybe it's good. Maybe it works out for them. I'm not sure. Did find a break on Yumemi, Ramu, and Couch right at the beginning, so not starting out the best, but they'll have mod score advantage to try and keep it closer since that combo is not that far apart. Ramu will be the next one to break just before the 1/4 mark. But there goes Woei. I think that was a slider break on one of those slightly slower sliders. So it's going to keep things pretty close. There goes Couch. So Yumemi, Ramu, and Reedcat, the combos for great suggestions. Meanwhile, Badu and Kinakan for legit players, with Tatsuya fighting a break as well. And Badu doing the Badu thing. Hidden like 1/100 so far. Very small lead here though. Legit players not a lot to work with thus far. Not a huge combo advantage. They need a break from one of the FCs, or well, the FC are the big combo. They don't want to take any sort of real lead on their own pick here. Great suggestions. Working away at trying to come up with a break point here as Woei finds another miss for legit players. Combo advantage will go to great suggestions, in fact. This kind of hybrid snap flow aim alt pick. Tricky to be very consistent on, especially with those cut quad streams, and it's going to find several breaks on the next one. Woei, Kinakan, and Yumemi Ramu all missing. So FC on Badu, but Kinakan was the other big combo, and he is gone as well as Woei missing once again. So this one going to go in favor of great suggestions here. Badu, well, he's doing everything he can, but so far getting outdone by those combos from great suggestions is Ramu, Reedcat, and Couch all in some combo. That's one whole player worth of combo over legit players. That 400 combo on Couch, pretty much uncontested. And now the Ramu combo uncontested as well as Tatsuya finds a break. This is really unfortunate for Badu, who is playing out of his mind on this pick. I believe yet to find a miss in this entire tournament, as I'm cursing him. Absolute certainty that I just cursed him to miss on somewhere at the ending last quarter. But there's another several breaks. It's going to be Tatsuya, Kinakan, Yumemi, Ryamu all missing, but those 3 combos from great suggestions still hanging on. There's really not a lot legit players can do at this point. 200,000 points for great suggestions in the lead. Legit players just not having a good time with things on this map, and there goes Tatsuya and Woei again. Yeah, if it wasn't decided already, it certainly is now. Reedcat on the Hard Rock FC, and Ramu and Couch on some big combos with Hidden. And this will be a point for great suggestions. It's going to be an early break point here on the second pick from legit players. And it's going to be a pretty safe margin, too. It's going to be 400,000 or 500,000 points. Ramu, Yumemi, Ramu ending misses, but Reedcat and Couch both get through, as does Badu, looking very, very comfy. But unfortunately for him, one player being comfy does not win you a pick. And the point goes to great suggestions. The Hard Rock FC coming in from Reedcat, a very, very good score from him. Ramu and Couch, both with big combos to back him up, 676k and 715k. Also, Yumemi Ryamu, 450,000 points even, 450,000. That is a very aesthetic-looking score. Badu does come up with the top score, 5100 FC Hidden, but unfortunately for him, just not good scores from his teammates. I mean, straight up, Woei and Tatsuya both under 400k. That is not really excusable on your own pick. That you can't afford to have performances like that on your own map. So great suggestions with the break point, with the advantage now. We'll see what they can do with their own pick if they want to try to consolidate that. And we have another result. Holy Steezus will advance into the next round of losers bracket with a 6-2 victory over Team 32. So well done to them. Holy Steezus will now face off against Welcome to Mongolia tomorrow, 15 UTC. Good job to them. We're concerned about missing players and things today, that would give them trouble, but they managed to come up with a victory, and they set up a very good matchup tomorrow. That's going to be a tough fight, I think. And of course, every match tomorrow at the same time, so not much I can do, unfortunately, but well done to them. And meanwhile, over here, we do have the next pick in from Great Suggestions. It is Hard Rock 2 Raise Your Hands, a Psyche featuring Such Hard Rock pick. A little bit of a light tech Hard Rock here. Just under 3 minutes long, 172 BPM, some pretty tricky slider aim to contest with in this one. All right, so in we're gonna go. Hard Rock 2, the second pick for Great Suggestions as they try to consolidate the break point. Back-to-back Hard Rocks from them. See if they go Hard Rock 3 after this. I don't know if that one's quite as advantaged as the others with the tiny, tiny circles, but maybe a pick. It's going to be Badu, Wowie, Kinakon, and Tatsuya taking on Yuma Miriamu, Okinatori, FX, and Reedcat. So it's the same Hard Rock roster, and much the same roster, I believe, for legit players as well. Taking Utsuha out of the equation here. Okinatori, one of the few, I think, other D seeds who can really match up on some of these picks, but just making Kinakon play the maps instead of Utsuha. So that's a little of the strength, I think, from legit players relative to a lot of the other teams, kind of gone. And they could get into a scary space here if they drop this point and it goes to 3-1. Great Suggestions would just need to win their picks, but I think most of these are going to continue to be pretty contested, barring, you know, some surprising underperformances like we just saw from legit players on that last pick. Obviously, some very good tech players on that side for a map like this. You know, Wowie Badu maybe less known for Hard Rock than No Matter Hidden, but also both known for tech. So this is the type of thing they'll probably do all right on. The problem is Kinakon is having trouble. A lot of breaks on that first stream from him, and it's going to be the early lead going to Great Suggestions as Kinakon breaking once again. I don't know where Utsuha is. Tatsuya with the slider break on that quick buzz slider means it's just Wowie and Badu, the A and B seed for legit players holding on. Meanwhile, four-way for Great Suggestions still intact through the first couple hundred combo. Lead already over 100,000 points before we'd even gotten to the really more difficult part. This is where those top seeds are going to look to shine for legit players, but it's just not going to matter at this rate if Great Suggestions keeps this four-way up for very long. Tatsuya with another break. Wowie Badu still on the FC, but the four-way through the first half. 300,000 point lead for Great Suggestions. FX on an A rank, but still on the FC. You know, combo is more important than accuracy, realistically. No, not going to be the end of the world here for FX. Yuma Miriamu, Okinatori, and Reedcat all on decent accuracy. And there's another break from Kinakon. This map actually is over. Great Suggestions is just looking really strong on their own pick here. Also, funny thing to know while they're playing this, all three matches that are going on right now are playing this map at the same time. F-Fergus Type 2 versus Vitality playing this, Legit Players versus Great Suggestions playing this, and Chomikush PL versus Mogu Mogu Keu all playing the same map. Yuriyamu does find a break, but it is still the three-way full combo for Great Suggestions. Meanwhile, Woey Badu, all that are standing in the way for legit players. And there's just not going to be anything they can do about a 600,000 point lead. Great Suggestions looking far too strong on this map. Okinotori does finally find a break, so at most it'll be 2 FCs against 2, but the lead has been established, and yeah, not a lot the legit players can hope to do here. It'd basically take everyone collectively not playing the rest of the map, and even then, I don't know that it would be enough. FX does find a late break, and his accuracy is quite low, so it's going to bring the score gap down just a little bit, but this one really well decided. Woey with a break on that triple, just for good measure. Reedcat still continuing to perform incredibly well, as does Badu. The FCs for both of them, but just much, much better supporting scores for Great Suggestions on that pick as compared to legit players. 356k on Konkon Kinekan and 425k on Tatsua versus 663k on Yuriyamu, 79k Okinotori, 6666 on FX. Recat matching the FC with higher accuracy than Badu, 10 fewer 100s for Recat, and Woey just those late breaks. But really, the story is just the lower seeds for legit players. Kinekan and Tatsua not able to keep up. Much better scores from Okinotori and Co. over on Great Suggestions side. So it's going to be 3-1. It's going to be the consolidated break point. And it's going to be a good spot to be in if you're Great Suggestions here going into the next pick from legit players. But not over yet, you know, just 3-1, still 3 more points for Great Suggestions required to win the match. So, legit players going to try to find their way back into this one. Hard Rock 3 still available, Nomads still pretty completely open, in fact, all 6 of them, and it is going to be a Nomad pick. It's going to be Nomad number 4 as the selection here for legit players. That's going to be Regret. It's going to be the 210 BPM light tech pick, which is actually kind of sketchy, if only because there's a lot of bursts in it. And we know, you know, the story of Badu on this kind of thing, not the greatest for him. Not the greatest for him. We'll see who ends up coming in at that top seed slot for legit players. And man, if anybody knows what's going on with Utsuha, because like I feel like he'd be in for some of this stuff over Konkon, like pretty handily. I'm curious as to what's going on there. So we are going to see Woey in for this pick. Or, no surprise there. We're going to see Badu in for this pick. Shiny Chariot, Kinekan as the other 2 for legit players. Great Suggestions going to roll with like a new 4-man. Recat, FX, Ramu, and Yumemi Ryamu as the squad over there. Who needs Milk Teasm when you've got Reedcat for everything and he can just FC every map? That seems to be the story of the day for them. See if Badu can continue the FC streak. He's gonna need some more support from his team though. Legit players, the C and D seeds, really losing ground to their opposition making things a little more difficult for themselves than I think they would probably like. You know, Suiji being Suiji, it helps to have good top seeds, but you really need to have some balance, and you need to have good performances to back up, you know, especially on maps where you see multiple FCs. So, looking to Shiny Chariot and Kinikon to see what they can do on this map. They've got to kind of get things back together after a couple of rough picks in a row there to go down 3-1. With this one, a fairly easy map, one of the easier maps in the pool. Light tech, burst heavy pick, a couple of tough slider sections, but not the worst. And this is a Wowie Badoo map in the utmost. Those two will likely put up very, very good scores. Absolutely the type of thing that you know that they are super comfortable and experienced with. As I said, the only concern for me here being Badoo's relative lack of speed, as you see him dropping a lot of accuracy on those first couple of bursts, but 3 misses already from Great Suggestions, as Yumemi Ramu and FX both missed towards the end of that first section of the map, and Ramu had missed just before them. So Reedcat still in the FC as he has been, but a 4-way intact thus far for Legit Players, giving them the lead early on. And by early on, I mean halfway through, because this is a relatively short pick. It's going to advantage Legit Players even more. Avoid straining Badoo's limited stamina on the bursts. Give him the opportunity to carry some more. And he does break. That's going to be his first miss of the tournament, I believe, in fact, unfortunately. But it is still 3 FCs against just 1. There is a lot of combo on the backing players from Great Suggestions, though. They are poised to make a run at this one if Legit Players find some misses in the last third. And they do. It's Wowie and Shiny Chariot both gone. It's a 300,000 point lead, but there is a quarter of the map still to go, and Kinikon, the only FC left for Legit Players. Yumemi Ramu does find a break, but Reedcat and Ramu both on the FC, or the big combos, excuse me. FX finding a break as well, though that might slow things down. As long as Kinikon can hold on, yes, there goes Ramu. As long as Kinikon can hold on, he will manage to keep the lead intact for Legit Players, and they will put another point up here. That is well done for Kinikon, brings in the FC for Legit Players. Badoo not having the best time, unfortunately, a little unhappy with his performance there, you can tell. But 400,000 point win is a 400,000 point win if you're Legit Players. You're not going to be too unhappy with that one. The S rank out of Wowie as well, 99 accuracy. Just under 99 for Kinikon with the FC. Reedcat bringing in yet another FC for Great Suggestions. And Ramu with the S rank. But unfortunately, Yumemi Ramu just not the greatest score on that side. And I think bottom scoring. In fact, those two having a rough go of things. 580k, 600k, 668k from Shiny Chariot, Badoo, Wowie, better backing scores for their FC. And so 3-2 goes the score. Another point on the board for Legit Players as they work to come back from the early deficit here. It's going to be Nomad 1 as the pick for Great Suggestions, so not a huge surprise there. They go Hard Rock 1, and now they'll go Nomad 1 just a little bit later on. It's going to be True Truly Love, Karcher's Kizuna Diff, 6.9 stars, something like that. Pretty difficult starting, right? 6.87 stars, excuse me, close. 3 minutes 42 seconds, and you know, once again, kind of that bog standard Hard Rock Nomad 1 aesthetic where it's just a lot of large jumps and a couple of streams as well. It's gonna be the aim players coming in for this one to see how they fare, and still no Utsuha, man. I mean, if it works out for them, it works out for them at the end of the day, you know, on a map-to-map basis, whatever, but I'm just surprised. So it'll be Shiny Chariot, Smarty, Konkon Kitakon, and Monko in for the Nomad 1 against Yume Miriamu, FX, and Okinatori, as well as Reedcat staying in for all maps, it seems. Great Suggestions up 3-2 on their own third pick here. Try to maintain that breakpoint lead that they got on the second pick from Legit Players. Force them to be playing from the back foot here this entire match. Legit Players, though, pretty solid aim on that side of things. They will always, I think, have an opportunity to take just about any type of point. But, we'll find out as we enter in. And we have our next result. Mogu Mogu Okeu 6-0 over Chomikuchi PL. Get that updated in just a minute here after this map. This is, you know, the Nomad 1 experience, I think, for pretty much anyone. You've got mostly big aim, but there are a couple of streams. There is also a slider stream to contend with. We only saw one person miss on it last time around, so maybe not the worst. It's just before the second Ki. And FX is going to be the first to break on the aim, the jumps before the first Ki here, getting him. So the lead is going to start off over with Legit Players, the first real combo difference the teams will see. That lead is going to get maintained as they continue their four-way through that first Ki, and we'll go into the second verse. Shiny Chariot will find a slider break on the little 1/3 pattern, so that's going to give the combo lead to Great Suggestions. They've got a little bit of ground to make up 30k or so, but they should be able to do that. Near the second Ki, we're going to get into some more difficult parts of the map here once again after this silly free combo of this verse. Here we are. Slider stream coming, and it will get FX, so that is him breaking. No, it will not get FX. It is going to be a Bancho miss. Everyone made it straight through the slider stream without issue. So in the second Ki, combo lead still in favor of Great Suggestions by about 200. It will slowly but surely bring this score gap back over. Accuracy staying fairly solid for most players. Reedcat on a very high accuracy FC. Has not missed yet in this match. All players looking very comfortable with this pick. There goes the score lead. Finally swinging its way on over to Great Suggestions thanks to the FX combo advantage over Shiny Chariot, but all three of the other players from both teams still on their FCs, so this is going to end up being decided by the last Ki, as it was in the previous match. Who can perform better on the large spacing jumps in the last section of the map? That's going to be the question to answer. Oh, and it's a break from Monko just before we come into the Ki, and that's going to be huge. That's 3 FCs now to 2, and there goes Smarty as well as FX. Not the end of the world for Great Suggestions. They have 3 FCs left to now none, as Konkon Kitakon breaks in this last Ki as well. Yume Miramu, Okinatori, and Reedcat all holding just fine. And that is going to be the point going to Great Suggestions no matter what now. Just the ending jump still to come, but will not affect the outcome of the map at this point, as Okinatori finds a break. Yume Miramu and Reedcat still on the FCs. No problem for either of them. Big jumps at the end. Yume Miramu will break, and Reedcat, though, another FC for him. Chalk it up on the board. 400k the victory for Great Suggestions. 4-2 goes the score. 2 points away from closing out the match. And wow, our other match has already ended. The first quarterfinal is done. Quarterfinal 4, FF Rager snipes you, taking out Team Vitality 6-2 in just about an hour. That was a quick one. We have our first team in the winner's bracket semifinal. FF or Iger snipes you. They await the winner of our later match today, which will be the Method versus TF. That will decide their opponent. And as mentioned, Shomikush PL dropping 0-6, so a sweep for Mogumogu Okeu 6-0. They will advance to face Soof and Friends tomorrow. Getting closer to having all of our matches for tomorrow finalized. As I said, literally all of them will be played at 15 UTC, so all we get to see is the one quarterfinal that'll be getting played tomorrow. It's a very unfortunate state of affairs. Gonna need 5 different streams, I guess, in order to get everything visible for some viewership, but so it goes, I guess. And Nomad 6 will be the pick here for legit players. Kind of expected that one to come out eventually. IIL's Sputnik 4. Consumer of Beans Odyssey difficulty. Can't spell Nomad 6 without IIL, apparently. It's 50 seconds long, 170 BPM, and, you know, it's just going to be one of these rhythm picks that we've become so accustomed to seeing in tournaments across the board. Seems like you have to have one of these maps or other, whether it's Sputnik or Vostok, Devious Panda, KTGster. Somebody's gonna have one of their maps in here. This is a very legit player's map, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know, the way that Great Suggestions have been playing could really go either way. Alright, so in we're gonna go here, eventually, once Recat loads. It's gonna be Utsuo finally coming in for legit players, joining Badu, Wowie, Shiny Chariot, Yumi, Ramu, FX, and Reedcat for Great Suggestions. This one could be a little bit inted, I think. There's an opportunity for players to just do really badly on this type of map, I feel like. So we'll see how it goes here for folks. Or we'll see how it goes for Bancho, I guess, would be the real statement to make. Bancho. Shiny Chariot gonna have to catch up a little bit. There we go. I think this is a bit of an ack fest, honestly, because you can get your way through this map without breaking, but it can be kind of troll sometimes. You see people like 91, 93% accuracy, 88% accuracy, but like holding. So a lot of it's going to be about who can keep some accuracy, some semblance of accuracy. But it is going to be a break from Shiny Chariot early on. Advantage in favor of Great Suggestions. There, he's going to trade with Umemi Ryamu. Going again. Not having the best of luck here for Shiny Chariot, but this is so... I mean, this map is just so hard. Your rhythm has to be absolutely on point. Your finger control has to be absolutely on point. Ramu with the next break for Great Suggestions, so combo goes over to legit players. They have 3 FCs still alive. And Woey Ak, I think that was... Oh, that was 93. I thought that was 98. That would have been pretty insane. But doing 96, that's really, really good, by the way. I just need to point out, like, almost 97% here in this slow section. That is actually absurd accuracy on this map. If you look around the rest of the lobby, 93s, 85, 88, like, almost 97 is remarkable. Of course, with it being Badoo, that's not much of a surprise. This is, you know, the kind of thing he's known for. Besides having ridiculous aim, having really good reading and rhythm. But he is going to find a break. It's going to open the door back up here for Great Suggestions. Utua and Woey still on the FCs, but so it goes. Let's find out. Just 100,000 points in favor of legit players. Shiny Chariot having a really rough go of things, though. 127k. Meanwhile, Umemi Ryamu and Breedcat, as well as FX, still in the FCs. There goes Shiny Chariot once again. He is really having a hard time here. Wonder if legit players were just expecting to try and kind of have 2, maybe 3 people who could play as well. Oh, Badoo did not, in fact, break. Okay, thank you, Bancho. So it is going to be a bigger lead for legit players than expected. Wait, it's still 3 FCs for Great Suggestions as well. Wait, Utsooha broke. See, it's so hard to tell what's going on when you just get fake misses all over the place and you can't actually tell who's comboing and who's not at any given point in time. It could be like 3 FCs or it could be 0 FCs. It looks like it's going to stay pretty close, though. Shiny Chariot's struggles are really helping Great Suggestions stay relevant in this map, but there goes FX, I believe. Badoo and Woey are still holding on. I think legit players are just going to be able to take this on the back of those two pretty much alone. It's going to end up being pretty closely fought at the ending here, but it will end up being legit players taking the point. So 4-3 the score. They stay in touch. Still only 1 map separating the teams. The double FC from Woey and Badoo, kind of to be expected there. Very good score from Utua as well. 826 combo, S rank. Shiny Chariot 175k. Fortunately, legit players just had enough score on the others that it was all right. All right, more Hard Rock here. Putting out a Great Suggestions. It's going to exhaust the Hard Rock pool. Hard Rocks 1, 2, and now 3 all being picked by Great Suggestions. Wood Fairies mapped by Very Chill. This is the tiny circle map. The very tiny circle map. Is CS 5.8 plus Hard Rock, so good luck being able to see actually any of the circles while this is being played, because you'll need to get out a magnifying glass. But I'm pretty sure this is just a really good pick for Great Suggestions, because Reedcat and Umemi Ryamu are actually just going to go module. Couch and FX looking to be their other 2 players. Yeah, this is what I forget what 5.8 with it Hard Rock is. It's like 7-ish. It's gonna be Woey Badoo, it looks like, for legit players, and TBD on their other 2. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting into it here. Kinakon and Tatsua coming in to join Badu and Wowie. FX Okinotori joining Yuma Ramu and Reedcat. Great suggestions, looking to give themselves a match point in their favor if they can take this pick. Legit players still trying to find the elusive break point they really have not come all that close to as of yet, and they gotta do it soon. After this will be, of course, the last pick from each team. This is map number 8 already here. There's always somebody not loading. Get FX in. There we go, except Reedcat's. Okay. All right, Osu for Ants is underway with Hard Rock number 3. One of the smaller circle-sized maps you're likely to see in a tournament. So Habib, I guess, you know, maybe we'll have a CS10 in grand finals or something. We're gonna have, what's the telepop music, Breathe, mapped by Squirrel Pascals in grand finals Hard Rock. God, that would be the hardest. I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter, because at that point it's just like CS10, OD10, it's already CS9 or whatever, so it wouldn't really make a huge difference. Just the OD at that low BPM would be really hard. Anyway, Kinakon, Okinotori finding early breaks, so was Reedcat right in the beginning, so 3 FCs to 2 for legit players. Decent amount of combo on Reedcat backing up the others, and Okinotori just a little bit behind. That's going to be Tatsuo missing, I think, the last note before the spinner. And so now just a double FC. Wowie Badu against Umemi Ramu and FX. Lead should make its way slowly over to Great Suggestions. Very short pick here. You can already see that gap had gotten pretty big. But there goes Wowie as well as Umemi Ramu. Traded breaks. FX and Badu the FCs left. Reedcat and Okinotori with some decent combo. No, there goes Okinotori. So it's matching. Kinakon goes, it's Badu on his own, but there's not a lot of time left. Badu on his own trying to take on FX and Reedcat. If those two can both hold their combos into the ending, this score cap can come back over to Great Suggestions. Low aim requirement coming in, the low BPM. Everything very tricky about this one. There goes Wowie once again, losing a little bit more score for legit players. That score is going to flip over. It's FX and Reedcat bringing it home. And we're going to come into the ending. It's going to be Great Suggestions winning their own pick once again. 120k, the margin of victory on that one. Reedcat just the one miss. FX with the FC. FC with a lower score, might I add. Reedcat's miss being so early on and FX's accuracy being so low. Okinotori also with the S rank, but you know, 98.4 AC on Okinotori, 98.5 AC on Badu. Some pretty good plays on that one, but Great Suggestions just a little bit better combined scores at that ending there, and that means Great Suggestions take a 5-3 lead. They have 2 match points to play with now as they try to move on to become the second team in the semifinals. All right, so the final pick of this match for legit players is going to be free mod number 3. Is going to be Zenobikil, the musty free mod pick here. Very risky, getting favored, I think. Low aim. Well, Hard Rock has done okay on it. I don't know. It seems kind of hit or miss. Just depends on how strong you are on the mods. Anyway, it's a flow aim alt type of map. We've seen a couple of those across this pool previously, and this is another one. Was the last pick crystal clear in their victory. Legit players hoping to avoid dropping out of the winner's bracket on this pick. Dropping out of the winner's bracket. We'll see how this one goes. But doing Wowie again, you know, going to look to be those big carries for legit players. Great suggestions, have gotten some good performances out of pretty much everyone on their roster. Legit players have really had trouble in those lower seeds. I don't know. I really would like to know like what's actually going on with Utsuha, because I would expect him to be like the main D seed for their team. And he's just not? He played Sputnik. And has been out for almost everything else. Actually, Kinecon has been playing well, I should say. Now that I look back, Kinecon has been doing alright. I guess it's just still surprising, kind of on paper type of thing, but Kinecon has done alright for himself. It's the struggle of having two very good players in that seed, I suppose, whose skill sets have a fair amount of overlap. Or either that or you're not playing the maps where they actually favor specifically the other one. Hard to say. But into map number 10, we are going to go. It is Shiny Chariot and Wowie on Hidden, Kinecon and Badoo on Nomad. Hard Rock on Umemi Ramu and Reedcat, Nomad on Couch and Okinatori. Kind of to be expected there. Great suggestions. More of a Hard Rock team, obviously, considering they picked all 3 Hard Rocks in the pool. Legit players, more of a hidden team, as they had 2 hiddens banned against them, pick the other one. But we do see the early breaks coming out from Wowie and Kinecon, as well as Shiny Chariot. Is now just Badoo left with the FC already. Not a long map, so they're going to fall behind pretty notably very early on. Couch and Umemi Ramu, though, both do find breaks for great suggestions, so leaves things a little open here for legit players, as Wowie and Kinecon are both building up some more combo. Okinatori and Reedcat, obviously both still on those FCs for great suggestions, but mod advantage in their favor as well with Hard Rock on Reedcat. However, the combo advantage on the other players doing okay for legit players, as we get a little Bancho lag here. Very tricky flow aim. Players performing quite well on it. Everybody building up a lot of combo. That lead staying for now on the side of great suggestions, but it's going to be very, very close. 40,000 points separating the teams. Any one break can be a very big deal, and it's going to be Couch, but Shiny Chariot follows up right after. And there goes Wowie. That was not a good place to miss. The lead did go over to legit players, but the combo advantage is now going to be on the side of great suggestions. They're going to take the lead right back over. Reedcat and Okinatori still on the double FC. Kinecon and Badoo going to do what they can. There goes Reedcat, so one of those FCs gone. Shiny Chariot missing as well, so it's Okinatori versus Badoo on the FCs. Umemi Ramu with a decent amount of backing combo. Lead is going to go over to legit players once again, but it's going to flicker back and forth so much coming into this last section of the map. Shiny Chariot gone. There's a lot of misses from him. He's going to lose a lot of score there. But it's Okinatori and Couch trying to do what they can with a lot of combo advantage in the favor of legit players, as Badoo and Kinecon are going to bring this one on home now. Everybody is broken except for Okinatori on great suggestions. And Badoo on the FC, Kinecon on the big combo are going to be enough for a 170,000 point win for legit players. I feel that was a little closer than the ending score. I mean, that did not feel like a near 200k victory for legit players, but a win's a win. FC out of Okinatori to match Badu. And we are going to go into the last pick now. 5-4 the lead for Great Suggestions, their own final selection of this match. Will they be able to close it out finally on the second match point opportunity, or will we go to a tiebreaker? That is going to be the question. Will be answered soon. So what do we have? I mean, there's actually a decent amount of maps still available. It just depends on kind of what Great Suggestions feels most comfortable with. They've got Nomads 2, 3, and 5, DTs 2 and 4, and Fremod 2. I would think this might be a Nomad 5 angle, depending on how they feel about speed. I think it's almost certainly not DT4 or Nomad 3, so I think it's going to be one of the two kind of streamier, speedier maps. That's what's left here, obviously. 200 BPM, stream Nomad 2, 256 BPM Nomad 5, which has a pretty hefty aim component, but also a lot of speed required, and then very speed figuring control favored DT2, and it is going to be Fremod 2 instead. I'm a little surprised by that, actually. Kakuzetsu Thanatos, not the pick that I would have anticipated from Great Suggestions here, but maybe banking on the higher BPM being something that Badu won't be as confident and comfortable with this one being 200, 220 BPM. But it's a very tricky map. The aim in this is really difficult. It's kind of an older style, really uncomfortable aim map that, well, it's one of the harder maps in the pool. I mean, as we discussed earlier, we've seen this in semifinals and open rank, you know, like absolute top of the top tournament players, tournaments. And now it's in, you know, Suiji, which is quarterfinals. You still got a lot of players in the tournament who are probably going to struggle pretty heavily with this one. So, you know, we'll see how this one goes. Obviously, the mod requirements being relatively relaxed make this a little more friendly. Only requiring 2 mods in general rather than if it was like a force mod or one hidden, one harder rack requirement. Might be pretty tough on some teams. Looks like we are about set to go here. Monko Smarty, Shiny Chariot, Kinakan against Yoramu, Reedcat, Couch, Okinatori, Sweden, Be Like. Hey guys. Play Fremod 2. You know, likely to be the Hard Rocks on Great Suggestions. Probably Reedcat and Yumami Ryamu. They might overmod Hard Rock on this potentially. Legit players probably expecting Hidden. But hard to say for sure. Not entirely certain how good they are at this sort of awkward aim thing compared to a more standard aim pick. So this could be a tough one here for legit players if they want to try and send this to a tiebreak. Great Suggestions have been playing from in front this entire time, getting that early break point and just rolling with it the rest of the way. They're just 1 point still from the finish line, and let's get into it here. It's going to be Hard Rock on Monko, Yumemi Ramu, and Recat, hidden on Shiny Chariot. No mods on Kinokon, Smarty, Couch, and Okinotori as expected. Very uncomfortable aim pick here. In we go with an early break from Shiny Chariot. This is so hard with hidden. The rhythms are somewhat complex at times. The patterning is not straightforward. This is quite a tricky hidden pick. I actually would potentially think this is Hard Rock favored. Assuming equal preference for either mod, I would argue that it is possibly Hard Rock favored. And that is showing here early on. You've got breaks from Monko and not Smarty. That was not a break, nor was Shiny Chariots early on. So Monko the only one missing. Thank you, Bancho, for having a lot of fun today. Still the 4-way so far from Great Suggestions, but only, 370 combo wins, so not a big deal. We're going to make our way into the first Ki. It's going to be Smarty with a break on nothing, unless that was Bancho. I'm not really sure. I think Smarty just missed on nothing. Yumemi Ramu going to break on that little 1/3 triplet pattern, but Shiny Chariot's going to follow him up, as will Couch. Recat no Okinotori, the FC is left for Great Suggestions. Kinokon still seeing for legit players with Monko on a 350 combo behind him. Not auto combo on anybody else here. Monko, Shiny Chariot, Smarty, Recat. Oh my goodness, Kinokon missing too. This is so hard, man. Okinotori, the only player with any sort of combo at all. He's going to solo build a lead. Okinotori is so good at both aim and awkward rhythms. Absolutely the type of player you would want in for this kind of map in this situation. And he is showing that quite well here, making it through all the 1/3 rhythms without trouble. Hitting the aim as well. Halfway through, it is about a 140,000 point lead for Great Suggestions. That's a lot of misses. That's Kinokon, Smarty, Monko, and Couch all finding breaks. Combo advantage even more in favor of Great Suggestions as they have Okinotori's continued FC, Recat and Yumemi Ramu building back up against just Shiny Chariot. No, there weren't breaks. Okay, I hate this client. This is so stupid. I don't know what's going on anymore. So it's 320 to 330 combo for Monko, Smarty, Kinokon. Nothing on Shiny Chariot. It's just really Okinotori is the player we're watching here. Continuing to hold this decent 200k lead. And Recat and Yumemi Ramu getting up to about 500 and 430 combo respectively. Legit players to have any sort of hope really need a full reset for Great Suggestions, and it needs to happen soon because that lead is 300,000 points. I don't really think there's much they can do at this point, unfortunately. Couch is not the person they need to break. It needs to be the others, but Okinotori, Recat, Yumemi Ramu all looking good in this point and the match. Looking ever more so like it's going to go the way of Great Suggestions by a score of 6-4. 400k lead. Not much hope here for legit players. Coming into the outro. It's going to do it. It is going to be the last moments of the map. We're going to see Great Suggestions with a very closely fought battle against legit players. But they are going to take the match. The one break point, all that there was separating the teams. But that was what it took for Great Suggestions, and they win it by the score of 6-4. They will be moving onward here in the winner's bracket. They will go into the semifinals, where they will await the winner of O Plano versus Stinky Cheese. That will be tomorrow's quarterfinal. Something of an upset, I think, to a lot of people with legit players looking as strong as they were. But Okinotori, the D seed of a lifetime, the FC on the last map to help carry Great Suggestions forward in this pick, in this match. That is going to do it. Well done to Great Suggestions here. Very well executed victory for them. Legit players drop down to the loser's bracket. They'll face off against the winner of Crystal Clear and Osu Floppa Skill. That'll be next week.